myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never.
Okay guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do things a little differently, and you can kind of see I have a new car on the hoist that I bought 1,500 kilometers from home, just like the Neon I did, but on the other, just like the Neon I bought 1,500 kilometers from home. I put a motor in it up in Ontario, drove it home, and then I ended up getting a really good offer on it, and I sold it. Well, I didn't want to do that twice because this here needs a motor as well. I bought it in Ontario, but I didn't have the stuff right then and there for me to take back to Ontario, put a motor in it, drive it home that way. So I did tow this home. You did see at the very beginning of the video that this was up in Ontario, and then we'll go from there. So I did buy this because I seen it had winter tires on it sitting in a garage in July in Ontario. So I figured, hey, something's probably up with it. So I stopped in and I ended up buying this car for, I like to say $1,000. It's a 2007 Honda Element SC, which comes with like factory projectors, which are HIDs. It comes with a sport suspension. It comes with a different color of interior. The seats, I think, are the same pretty well. Just these aren't as outdoorsy as the other ones. Because the other ones are like a more of like a Neoprene waterproof interior. It had a carpet. This has carpet. The other ones don't. And then it has a center console. And if you're familiar with SCs, you definitely want a center console. And it has a different airbag and some other different stuff to make it a little more sporty. I didn't buy it because it was sporty. It's an automatic. Not a big fan of that. We're going to do this as a video series. So for now, the first thing we're going to do to this is we're going to pull the motor. We're going to put a k24A2 in it. We're going to all-wheel drive swap it at the same time. Now, there's a couple reasons before that. If you watch the other videos, you do know I had a 2005, bought the El Camino, not the El Camino in the background, but the parts El Camino. And then I had a 2010 automatic all-wheel drive that we were going to manual swap because I did have an 03 one that was manual front-wheel drive, but I have enough trannies. Anyways, that's here nor there. So we have a 2010 Honda Element for parts that we were going to put on the road, but this one's in way better shape. There's no rust. Well, I haven't got it up in the air yet. I'm waiting to show you guys at the same time, so I might get lucky. But we're going to swap this to a k24A2, which is 200 horsepower, and then we're going to put the auto all-wheel drive in. Just because it's October now, almost November, we can get this all-wheel drive for the Canadian winter. We'll drive it all winter long, and then come spring, we're going to 6-speed manual swap it and probably put the Freelander viscous copper turbo, a couple of odds and ends for it as well. So let's get this up in the air and see what kind of shape this is in. Let's see here. It's not really promising when you look at that, but I do say it does have 230,000 kilometers on it, so it doesn't have a lot of miles, thank God. So it'd be like 160,000 mile-ish, roughly. So let's get this up in the air. All right, let's get my trusty light. All right, so here we are. Now, the first thing that always rots out on these is that right there. It's actually still pretty salvageable. Same with the exhaust. This is the most main concern on any Honda Element you buy, is that right there. Now, if you're from the east coast of Canada, that's not even scale yet. There's no rust coming off of that. It's just starting to rust. So we're going to pour 15 that. Then I'll undercoat all the holes inside all the rockers. The rockers are completely solid, as you see. They're known for a soft spot right there on the floor, which obviously mine does not have. And this side, same thing. A little bit on the unibody right there on the frame rail, nothing crazy. And I'll end up pour 15 in the whole thing. So again, no scale yet. It's just starting to rust, which is a bonus, which means the metal integrity is still there. So I'll pour 15 and stop it now. Come back through here, you'll see that there is no diff because it's front wheel drive where it is an SC. And if you excuse the mess, you will see right there is an all-wheel drive diff. That's a 2012 SI tranny. But if we scroll over here, there is the auto all-wheel drive training. So my plan is to take that and we're going to put it in this. Now, you can see that there's peat moss everywhere. It's been probably sitting for God knows how long, actually. But we're going to get the motor in, tranny in, and then we'll do a series on what you're going to need to do to all-wheel drive swap this. I don't want to do it all in one video. That's a lot to take into K24A2 swap this. So to me, it's just like we're just putting a front-wheel drive tranny in because I'm not going to hook up the diff right away. Probably be a couple days so I can walk you guys through that, what we need to do. So in this video, we're going to take the motor out and we're going to get the new motor in. So first things first is we're going to take the rims off, drain the oil, drain the fluid, and then we'll show you how I'm going to do this. I'm going to drop the K-frame because it's probably the easiest thing to do. So I'm going to take the axles out now when it's still attached, take tires off, take the axles out. We'll undo the steering, we'll undo the computer, leave the harness on the motor, which will probably be the easiest thing to do, I find. And then we're going to drop this down all as one unit. I can probably have it down within the hour. So it's really not that big of a job getting it out. I'm doing all the hoses. I don't want to cut the hoses. I want to save all the hoses so I don't have to buy that kind of stuff. That's going to be the time-consuming part. Saving the harness is going to be the time-consuming part because I don't want to damage. So I'm going to say that the oil's obviously old. It was on there super tight. But the issue with this was it had no compression. I tried to start it off camera and it just turned over really fast. I'm assuming the tensioner let go, which took the timing chain out with it. So honestly, I had a K24A2 sitting here for the other element, which was a 2010. But thankfully that one was a little more rustier than this one was, and I like the fact that
got me seeing all red, now I'm becoming a threat. I fucking heard what you said, I'll make you have some regrets. And no, I never forget, so now you have a few debts. That shit, it needs to be paid with blood or some sort of pain. You caused a permanent stain, which has determined your fate. I've never seen so clear, I feel the end and it's near.
Now, if you guys follow the channel, you will know that I did a how-to on how to put the factory Brembros off an Acura TL Type S onto an element. Super easy to do. It looks like my pads are quarter of the way left in the rotors. Well, there's no groove, but it does show signs of sitting an awful long time. So I did save all that stuff off the other element. It was on teen coilovers and stuff like that. I didn't want to get into that kind of stuff this year because I'm going to be driving it in the winter. So these are factory, I think 16-inch tires. Or not factory, but they're 16-inch winners. If I use the Acura TL Brembros, I'm going to have to go with the 17, which I do have the waffle wheel posted up right here. But I don't know if I want to get into that because I got to buy winter tires. This already has winter tires on it. I'm cheap. I want to do this cheaply. So if I have to put pads and rotors on it, I'll put stock on until spring. And then I'll put my factory Civic Type R 20-inch rims on with the Brembros. So that's, I can show you a video up in the right-hand corner how to do it if you're interested in doing it now. So this is going to be quite simple. We're going to have to take the strut off of the knuckle. We're going to have to take the axle off. I'm going to drop the axles now because it makes life easier. And I will end up probably hanging the caliper just out of the way for now to get it so I can get that axle out, get the other axle out. This side is about the same quarter tread. The rotor, there's no lip on it, so I might get lucky. Someone did put the set screws back in, so that could be a pain for me later on. So I'm just going to start disassembling this. I'm going to leave the strut up in place. Sometimes I ended up dropping the strut with it, so it'd literally be easier. But I think now, just to get the K-frame out of the way, I'm going to drop the K-frame, and then I'll drop the motor and tranny, because I need to reuse this K-frame. All right, so first things first, actually, you just seen that the pad separated, which I knew was going to. Means it's been sitting for a while. The glue lets go. So, like, I just broke that with my hands. So I'm going to need to do pads and rotors. We got the axle out, and then we got the converter out, the catalytic converter. Now, I do have a full in-jet exhaust that we'll be putting on when we do the motor. So this is going to come off anyways. But if you do look up here, you will see that the studs, one was broken on the right and the one on the left snapped, but they both are rotten. So hopefully I can use the TSX upper, and hopefully it's good, because I don't know if it is or not. And then you look right here and you will see that the factory converter, the flange started to rust away. So I'm going to probably have to cut the flange, weld a new flange on, because I'm going to leave the converter on it. And, well, again, I'm cheap. I don't want to have to buy a converter, because there's nothing wrong with the OEM converter that I have now. So pretty well, we're ready. We could technically drop the subframe if we wanted to. To do that, I'd have to undo the top rear transmission mount right here. And there's probably a front mount right in there. Maybe I might wait and drop it all at once. Subframe is a little crusty, nothing serious. I'm going to end up powder coating the one out of the 2010. So I'm going to use this one just to get it back up in place. And then when I all-wheel drive, like run the drive shaft and the rear diff, I actually have the rear subframe as well. I'm going to powder coat both of them. Leave a comment down below, what color should we go? I don't want to do black because it will look factory, and I want someone to know that I took the time to sandblast it and powder coat it. Okay, so what we're doing now is we have everything disassembled. Oh, I hope it's all disassembled. We're going to drop this motor down below. You will see I do have some jacks down below to catch the K-frame. It's pretty well touching the K-frame. The only thing that should be left to do would be the transmission mount and the motor mount. It's going to fall down. Then I'll put the car back up in the air, and we'll start disassembling this motor so we can swap everything from the k24A2 to this motor. The video is getting a little longer than I thought, guys, so we're going to call it a day. As you see here, we're just bringing the car up in the air, which is now releasing everything from it. So the motor and tranny is sitting on the K-frame, and it gives me a chance to make sure everything's where it needs to be. There's no broken lines. I took everything off properly, so it should make it easy to swap over the k24A2, which will be in the next video. If you're new to the channel, guys, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and we'll definitely catch you on the next one. Thanks a lot.